Rough times out there, folks.
Rough times for everyone. But you know what, Mike? Nobody is handling it worse than Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, my God. This
Jimmy motherfucking Fallon, baby.
Let me set this clip up a little bit.
Please do.
So, Jimmy has been hurting in the ratings for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Colbert's killing him. And he is, for a while, been pretty steadfast in trying to stick to the old school method of like, look, I just want to bring celebrities out and ask them stupid questions about their favorite recipes and shit. And I just want to do that kind of show. And he's had a series of people come and go now from the staff, from NBC. Now they're starting to tinker with him, and they're going like, you need to be more politically involved, and you got to be more woke. So now Jimmy is being forced out at gunpoint to do these little things. He doesn't want to do them. He doesn't want to do this, and it's so much fun
This
to
does
watch.
look like a hostage video. You're right. It already looks like a hostage video.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Well, these are difficult times to do an entertainment show. These are difficult times to do any show. But these are also times when we need each other the most.
It wasn't I'm pausing early, and I want to apologize.
That's fine, because I wanted to say something too, but yeah.
So let's. Sorry, it wasn't a difficult time when they were burning down Minneapolis. It wasn't a difficult time when they were burning down every small business. It wasn't a difficult time then. Now, because the precious capital was being ransacked, now it's difficult times.
And you know what? I'm sorry, but when people that are dressed up as minotaurs are storming the nation's capital, and a dude in a brick suit and all these other like, Jimmy, I hate to break this to you, but if you're finding that now is a time in America where you're finding it hard to be entertaining, you have no business being an entertainer. I'm sorry. There's no excuse. Ryan Long's entertaining. Danny Polachuk's entertaining. We're entertaining. Dick Masterson's being entertained. There's plenty of shows that are taking what's happening and going, well, let's try to be as funny as we can about it. Lily Singh has been firing on all cylinders. Did you see there's a new one on Peacock? There's like a black chick show.
For real?
It's
like a nighttime show, like a late night show, or
it's
talk
like
show?
some talk show, but it's like this black chick, and it's, boy, is she quirky. She's real quirky.
Is she very quirky?
She's very quirky.
How quirky is she, Mike? On a scale from 1 to annoying.
Annoying.
Oh, that's very quirky. All right, look, Jimmy. Hey,
Sorry,
I just got.
Also, Jimmy's getting up there now.
Jimmy, I just finished a Coke Bender Fallon. Let's see what he has to say.
These are difficult times to do any show. But these are also times when we need each other the most. In times like these, I think to myself,
oh my God, he's so bad at this. He's so bad. He's so bad at the fake sincerity thing. Like, dude, some people nail the fake sincerity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are amazing at it. And then other people, when you find yourself like,
well, I mean, you saw him on SNL. He wasn't a particularly good actor.
I'm surprised he's not laughing in the middle of this skit.
Here we go.
These are difficult times to do any show. But these are also times when we need each other the most. In times like these, I think to myself, how is this happening?
Now, you know what? You know what would make this monologue even better?
If it was Johnny Carson?
Horatio Sands coming out in a pair of tighty whities and just trying to make Jimmy Fallon laugh the whole time. No, keep going, Jimmy. Horatio Sands, tighty whities, cowboy boots, and a MAGA hat, just standing there in like 3 inches from Jimmy Fallon's face, trying to make him corpse the whole time.
How is this happening? How can this be happening?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you're all smug and
I'm
we
also
hate you.
thinking, how can I help? And being here tonight and talking to you at home and reassuring you that we're going to be okay and that this is not what our country is about is how I can help. This is what happens when there's no peaceful transition of power and what happens when there's bad leadership. This is not how you lose. If my grandfather
Wait a minute,
were
I'm
alive
sorry.
today and saw...
Didn't you guys lose 4 years ago and your politicians encouraged them to burn the country down for 4 years straight? You know, like, look, I still think that anybody that went to this D.C. march is a moron. I still think that it was a stupid idea. All that stuff's true. But I'm getting real sick and tired of being gaslit into pretending that the entire 11 months before that hadn't happened.
Of course.
That's the part that bugs me. Like, yes, I agree. The people that stormed that building at that time were wrong. They shouldn't have done it. It was bad optics, and it looked very bad. That being said, at least everything was left intact and not burning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you heard that the two Capitol Police that got suspended, one of them because he was wearing a MAGA hat, and the other one that took a selfie, and I'm like, wasn't the National Guard doing the Macarena in the middle of a burning city? Remember that?
Yes, I remember that vividly because we played it on this show.
Motherfuckers, man.
This is what happens when there's no peaceful transition of power and what happens when there's bad leadership. This is not how you lose. If my grandfather were alive today and saw what was happening in the country that he fought for,
he would say, wait, you replaced Johnny Carson?
Well, to be fair, he replaced...
Well, Conan, who replaced Leno.
Well, no, to be fair, he replaced Leno, who replaced Conan, who replaced Leno.
Good point.
It's a whole fucking mess. No, but he's like, Jimmy Fallon's like, you know, if my grandfather were alive today, he would probably say to me, Jimmy, you got to go to rehab. You really got to clean up, man. Can't live like this forever.
And saw what was happening in the country that he fought for, he'd be disgusted. People walking around with the flag upside down, thinking they're patriotic.
But burning the flag at Black Lives Matter rally, that's fine?
Dude, there's no consistency with these people.
Look, if Jimmy Fallon was also on here and not sucking Black Lives Matter dick, and when all this was happening, then you go, look, he's consistent at least. He was really talking about burning Minneapolis down, but you were on their side. You were on their side when they were doing it. At least be consistent.
Today was not patriotism. Today was terrorism.
So what about the people chanting "kill all cops" and setting fire to small businesses?
Burning down a police precinct.
Murdering retired police officers for television sets.
Annexing an entire portion of a major city.
That's all fine.
That wasn't terrorism? Whatever happened to Don Lemon saying that's, you know, who says or was it Como? Who says protests have to be peaceful? Since when?
Hey, look, I'm just trying to tell people.
Oh, here we go.
That if the morons want to go out there and they want to burn down your store, let them burn down your store. Why are you being a jerk?
Thought that President-elect Biden, President Biden, said it best when he said, we have to step up.
Well, no, he's President-elect Biden.
He's still President-elect Biden.
And this is what he looks like right after the show, after he gets in his benders. He's President-elect.
That's what he looks like when he goes up to women at Sullivan's and goes, I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'm famous.
This is what he says we got to step up. No, you're right. Because there was a peaceful transition of power when Trump won, right? There was peaceful. You guys didn't have Maxine Waters saying that if you see a Trump supporter on the street, you should harass them. You weren't talking about purging them from society. You weren't calling everybody a Nazi and then saying we should still be punching Nazis. You weren't doing any of that stuff, right? You didn't slander. You didn't start slandering people and make sure that they couldn't go eat at restaurants. You weren't bothering Ted Cruz when he was at a restaurant with his family. You weren't doing any of those things. You guys were good little angels. To pretend like what these fucking morons did in Washington, D.C., because say what you want, at least you had the moral high ground. But what these fucking morons did in Washington, D.C. was even close to what Black Lives Matter did to all of these cities and burning them to the fucking ground. To compare those two and think that this was worse is ridiculous. The only reason that they're losing their minds is because, and we said this before, and we've said it on the show, it's like they didn't care because it wasn't them. They didn't care because they weren't the ones directly dealing with angry people screaming at them. They didn't care because Washington, D.C. was a safe haven where they were left alone and nobody bothered them. The moment somebody started bothering them, all of a sudden it's an international crisis. All of a sudden it's the biggest thing in the world. GloomTube covered every single second of those riots on DLive, every second, burning people getting hit with stuff, people fucking chanting kill police and everything, and their DLive account was crystal clear. GloomTube covers this arguably a less violent event. Doesn't make it right, by the way, but a less violent event in DC, and all of a sudden their channel is completely gone. Stop. This is again. This goes back to the gamer game that we're talking about. It's the same thing. You're being disingenuous, and that's the problem. Look, I think the DC thing was fucking dumb. I wouldn't recommend any of my family have gone to that. But also, I thought everything Black Lives Matter did was fucking dumb. At least I'm fucking consistent.
We're at our best when we step up. We've seen it over and over again during this pandemic, from the frontline workers to the cashiers at grocery stores to everyone delivering food or raising money for people who need it.
All liberals. All the heroes are liberals, by the way. All the heroes are left-wingers. There is no Republicans that deliver food. There's no Republicans that are frontline workers. There's no Republican doctors. No, they're all liberal heroes. That's what they are. I mean,
no, you're right, because all the Republicans got fired from their jobs and
you're
doxxed.
Right. You're right.
We are best when we work together and step up.
Oh, now you're ready to work together.
You're ready to work together now? We're good? We're good to work together?
It's my favorite. It's they burn it. Okay, hey, guys, why don't we grow up?
But President Biden also said something after his speech that hit me even harder.
He said I went poopy in my pants.
That would have hit me pretty hard, too. Jimmy Fallon could relate. It looks like he's gone poopy in his pants a few times after some benders.
He said, enough is enough is enough.
Well, first off, Owen
enough
Hart.
Is enough is enough.
I was doing the Owen Hart.
I can't go on. No.
I was doing the Owen Hart. Enough is enough. It's time for a change.
And I believe that's what a majority of this country has been saying, has been screaming.
Well,
for a
no,
long time
a lot of this country has been screaming, if you don't mind, all cops are bastards, white people are canceled, stuff like that, actually.
Calling as small business owners colonizers because
Yes.
they fucking own a restaurant.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Okay.
Today was a disgrace. Today was disappointing. But sad.
Well, I know it's another it's another day you had to do your show. Of course, it was disappointing. What did you do? Did you do karaoke with Justin Timberlake again? Huh? What did you do? Did you do another skit where you broke? Is that what you did?
The fact that these fucking people can just pretend like they haven't been far worse this whole time, and the fact that a large chunk of the country buys it.
Mm-hmm. You want to call the people that what they did in D.C. and breaking into federal property domestic terrorists? That's fine. I'm on board. If you're going to call the people that broke into Walmart domestic terrorists, the people that went into Target domestic terrorists, the people that burned down the AutoZone, how come they're not domestic terrorists? Why are they they're off the hook?
Because they're fighting for racial equality, dude.
Oh, I get it.
Sadly,
A lot of people that went to Washington, D.C. feel the same way, just a different race.
Okay, well, it's white people's turn to be ruined.
I get it.
It was not a surprise. But it's important to remember that this is not who we are. I assure you, there are more good people than there are bad.
No. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. This is exactly who we are. This is what we've bred, what we've made, and what we've done. The chickens came home to roost. That's what happened. This is who we are as a country.
Yeah.
You could keep saying this is not who we are, and if you cared about who we are, you would have taken a stance, like I said, when they were burning down cities and killing retired black cops. You would have cared. When they were annexing entire cities, this is who we are. And you want to know why this is who we are? Because you created the monster. You're fucking Dr. Frankenstein. You and all the fucking people around you in Hollywood and in the media, you made it. This is who we are. The problem is that you now can't handle your creation. You made it. You pitted people against each other. Every time you turn on the news, CNN, local news, what wasn't enough? Every new video game, every TV show, every movie was you're bad because you're white, you're bad because you're a man, you're bad because you like this, you're bad because you have beliefs. You made it. You turned this into what it is. And the same reason when you went on the news and you were saying like, hey, black people, you see what Whitey's doing to you? Hey, can you believe, hey, black people, you going to put up with this? And then when they got mad and burned a fucking city to the ground, then you're like, oh, why did they do this? Where would they get this idea? Because you created it.
Well,
enjoy the monster you made, fuckers, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. If you think some fucking 80-year-old dementia patient is going to change things, you're fucking more gone than he is.
Yeah, and I mean, I love this smug thing that people do where they're like, we're better than this, folks. Like, we're better than this. Like, America deserves, but we kind of don't deserve better. Like,
We don't.
this country's all McDonald's and fentanyl overdoses and Jerry Springer and wet ass pussy and like
Nice.
pro wrestling and carnival. Like, we're just a giant carny country. It just makes me laugh when people go like, shouldn't we aspire to be better than this? And it's like, since when though? Like, since when?
So stop. Again, we're not better than this. You can't rile people up. You want to talk about the whole Trump, if you use that logic, right, what they're trying to do to Trump with the stuff, right? If you use that logic, what is the media responsible for? They're responsible for we're up to, what's happening now. Black lives, right wing and left wing. You guys are responsible for this. You have been pushing this and you turned a blind eye for 9 months to what Black Lives Matter was doing in this country. You turned a blind eye to it. But when it turned around and started affecting you, all of a sudden you're just clutching at your pearls. Shut the fuck up. This is what you get. And not to be Joker pilled, but you get what you fucking deserve. And you could take away people's Twitters, and you could take away their parlors, and you could take away their cell phones, and you could take away their mean communications. But unless you start taking away people's lives, you're going to make it worse.
You think this is funny? Huh? Jimmy Fallon's whining on TV, and you think this is funny?
Yes, exactly.
They couldn't carry a tune to save their lives.
Exactly.
By the way, that line never gets quoted, and it's the best part of that scene. It's just
very
out
great.
of nowhere. He's like, they couldn't carry a tune to save their
So
lives.
fucking
Boo.
stop. Fucking stop. We have been talking about this, and people disagree with us, people agree with us, and that's fine. I don't care. But we've been talking about what the media's been doing since day one of this show, since fucking day one of this show. And even before then, we were doing another show. And you wanted it, you got it. You're not going to change people's minds by taking away their voice. You're going to make more mobs. If you think Gamergate was bad, what Silicon Valley is doing now is going to make Gamergate look like a fucking carnival. That's what's going to happen. You keep playing this fucking game, people are going to get more and more pissed. And why do I think that? Because I've seen look at history. When people feel disenfranchised, they group together even more. And people that normally just wanted to go to work, and coronavirus, you shut everything down, so that's part of it. People just want to go to work, make a living. And for the most part, if you let people go to work, make a living, watch some fucking TV to relax, and be with their family, 90% of the time, you're going to be fine if you leave people alone. But you couldn't leave people alone, and this is what you got. Congratulations. I look like DJ Khaled, so I'm going to say it. You played yourself.
They just wanted to grill, Jimmy.
That's all they wanted to do, Jimmy. All they wanted to do was go outside and go to a restaurant. And guess what? You didn't let them, Jimmy. But that's okay, Jimmy. You're going to fix it. You're going to fix it all.
And good will prevail. Thank you for watching.
And by the way, you know what
good will prevail. Hormones to kids and fucking third trimester abortions. Yeah, those are the good guys. Those are the heroes.
You know what the
Shut
best
fuck up, Fallon.
The best part about this was, Fallon got done doing this, and then he was like, fucking nailed it. Like, that he actually thought, this is my big moment. Like, they might actually pull me up and put me on the NBC News desk after this. I'm so good.
He really thinks that. I think you're
Then
right.
he had a poignant moment. He fucking
Sitting there going like, are you fucking kidding me? They gave Michael Strahan a journalist job and not me. They gave that fucking football player a morning show.
Good Morning America.
That's not really a journalist.
Yeah.
You're right. That's a very, very fair point.
It's not exactly. We're not talking about the Good Morning America days when it was like Charles Gibson and Diane Sawyer. It's fucking Michael Strahan and some.
Yeah. They're the good guys. Remember, guys, they're the good guys.